Fam TV is another one of these fringe, outlets that likes to propagate the oh my goodness, blackness equal victim narrative that has become tired, worn out, and played. And so, hold on, let's read their caption with this video first. Talk to him, Haley. Chick calls out her parents for being racist. Fan TV, like our page. Well, I like their page, but I like their page. You notice I laugh, right? So I like their page because it is just like preeminent ignorance. I get actually quite a bit of content from their page. Just like, yeah, this is stupidity. But the difference between me and them is that they cheer it on. They like, this is blackness, go! And it's like, all right, champ. whatever whatever you want it to be, whatever you want to call it. So really quickly before I get into this video where she calls out her parents racism, quote unquote, um what's the name, Candace Owens. I'm not devoting an entire video to Candace Owens because it is what it is, but she's right. Sorry, in this instance, while she has everybody riled up about George Floyd and his the perception of quote unquote Black America lifting up the worst of us, as opposed to a I think his name's David Dorn, rest in peace. I actually do respect that position to have, because yeah, you always want to put your best foot forward. I mean, for all the Martin Luther King lovers out there, Rosa Parks wasn't the first Rosa Parks, right? They had a single mother, but there's like, nah, because we can't build anything solid off of, off of this. Like there's just way too much. They got way too much to pick at, and I really feel like that may be the case with Brother Floyd. So I get it. I completely get where she's coming from, and it's not a terrible recommendation. Now, I do not like Candace Owens. Again, it's a character flaw that I witnessed from her early on with the whole willingness to dox kids thing that I never sat well with me, never gonna sit well with me, and it is what it is. So, Haley, you and your daddy, you're getting into a bit of a back and forth, and we're going to knock it out, see what she has to say. Let's go.
No.
Yes, there's some that don't, and there's good people.
No.
Most of them just want to suck off the system or do something bad like drugs or gangs.
No, I actually disagree with the whole most of them part, but when it comes to, blackness, not descendants, not those of us who are actually descendant of American slavery, but a lot of the people ushered in here since the, I think, Homestead Act, or Home Sellers Act. I'm not pretty sure which one that is, but yeah, the one that ushered in all the black and browns. I'm not particularly seeing that as all that racist. So when you say most, if you separate us from them, I think it would be it could be considered racist. But with the sheer numbers of people who do not pass the paper brown bag tests here in the United States, I mean, I think most is rather fair at this point.
And that's all
They have been oppressed. They have not been given the same opportunities you have had.
Yeah, but sweetie, here's the thing. In 1960, let's say like 1962, 1963, and I've said this before on the channel, they would have thrown a parade for the officers. You know what I'm saying? 1954. Have you ever read the book Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry? I mean, my goodness, guys, when it comes to how far the United States as a nation has come, when it comes to how we view each other, it has been by leaps and bounds, okay? And this is somebody who, outside of, let's say, about an accumulative 4 months of my life, has spent every day of his 38 years in the United States, in this country, living from California to New Jersey. I gotta say, it's we've come a very, very long way, sweetheart. But the thing about youth is that you don't particularly like, you can't really contextualize in such a manner. So she just, like everything that's been fed to her is like, if they're darker than you, you're better than them, basically, because that's the way I interpret white privilege, as if, saying like, you're better than them because, you have so many opportunities that they don't have because of the color of their skin, as opposed to their socioeconomic status. But, kids are gonna kid, right? And that's why you shouldn't listen to children.
There's plenty of black
No, they don't, Dad. And you not recognizing that as an issue is the reason why it's still continuing today.
Actually, sweetheart, the fact that it continues today because there are individuals like you who believe that you're just automatically better than quote unquote black people due to the color of your skin. It's actually an inverse. You're fighting against the very thing that you claim to be about. And this is just bad parenting on one end. Not bad parenting because you raised a compassionate child, sir. But the deal is, sir, as a father, yeah, she don't tell you no in your house. All right. Plain and simple. Like, wait, no. You do want to eat tonight, don't you? I'm just saying.
All over. There's all kinds of successful people that are of color. It doesn't matter what color, brown, white.
But it's a lot harder for them to get to that
It
position.
doesn't matter when they do. They're
Sweetheart, but that's the thing. It's not a matter of harder for them to get a position. Everything starts from when we look at human life, right? We have to look at the people who created that life and the conditions in which they brought that life into the world. And when you have an overabundance of a certain population who are creating people, namely because, our laws are geared towards letting certain individuals stay within the confines of the country due to that person that they made, then, you have a whole bunch of people who are made without the intent of love and wanting to, raise life together or raise children together. You, darling, you are a benefactor of what seems, I don't know like what their familial situation is, but like it's like, yo, your parents cared enough about each other to want to see that you were, saying that you came of this earth and you had opportunities for you. That is that right there, that choice is a personal one that every individual has to make. And some people purposefully make that terrible choice for the child because of the financial windfall that can come from it. So yes, I'm not going to sit here and trash this kid. I'm really not. It's just a matter of ignorance, not knowing any better. It's once you know better, then you can do better, right?
fine, but there's always filthy animals. And that's
You're calling people of color black animals. You're calling them animals. Are you kidding me?
I don't feel like I was called an animal in that. Why is everybody getting all bent out of shape about the word, about just like the animals? Like she's sitting there, you're calling black people animals. It's not black. It wasn't just black people out there rioting and looting. It really wasn't. It was black, white, green, blue, purple, but that's your interpretation because you are young, sweetheart, and you're just your emotions are just through the roof, okay? And that's okay. But to sit here and be like, and to sit here and just interpret everything that he says with malicious intent, that falls on the listener, not the person speaking.
You didn't let me finish.
That's not okay. No matter what, that's not okay. No matter what, it's not okay. Racism is...
Okay, see, sweetheart, here's the deal. In Nike, yeah, there's a lot of black faces. In Vans, tons of white faces. You can't just call the animals what they are. Like, if you're out there, like, and I've been saying this a lot recently, if you're still out there a weekend, you know what I'm saying, after the officers have been charged, if you're still out there, hey, what happened to you happened to you. You're not going to get my sympathy because you decided, oh my goodness, this thing, which is insanely fake and phony, and you can tell by the mega corporations who are all bending the knee to this. This is a bit deeper. But, you got surface level thinkers out there. And I'm pretty sure if she were to take some time and actually, think about these things a little harder and look at it from a neutral view, not from a rather racist view of, well, I'm better than these people simply because of my skin color, and not particularly appreciate the socioeconomic status that she has. So is that what you guys call privilege? Because that's the thing. When it comes to that privilege, it is not color. It's basically colorblind. Like one of my favorite episodes of South Park is when Token brings in Will Smith and Snoop Dogg and all these other wealthy to do black families, and it's like, yo, they balling, they wilding.
Not okay. Why do you think that racism is okay?
Oh, that's mine.
Haley, I'm gonna look at. No, I'm looking at statistics
that's my
right
medal.
now.
I gotta get a necklace.
Your statistics can't They can be warped. Statistics can be warped. You want me to show you videos? Do you want me to show you videos of cops?
But that's the thing. So can the videos, right? I mean, when we initially saw the George Floyd video, we had that one angle where you didn't even see the other officers like on top of him, and that second angle made it so much worse. Not to laugh, but you guys know me. I ain't gonna cry. But like that's the thing. Like videos can be rather deceptive themselves. That's why it's always important to relax, take it easy, don't get too emotional. Like you can get emotional, but just hey, always try to come to like just try to use your logic and reasoning. And as someone, she's like, yeah, yes, I 100% agree. Numbers, statistics can be used and manipulated in any way that the person who's adding them up so desires. I am 100% with you there, darling. But with your rather narrow and even though I have lived from coast to coast, I still have a narrow viewpoint of the world. You know what I'm saying? So from that narrow viewpoint, it's probably best not to get, too wrapped up in, oh, this person just because of the color of their skin is, oppressed in one way, shape, or another. Because a lot of them are out there having the time of their lives, okay?
I will do it.
Statistics wrong?
Because they can be warped. I'm not giving statistics right now. They can be warped. Personal experiences can't.
No, because this is.
So, I gotta ask, what's your personal experience? Just curious, because it's not, I'm sorry, it's not enough to sit there and tell your parents that, oh yeah, well, you know better than them, because they've been on this planet longer, and I hear the mom too. So, man, you sitting there just in the laps of luxury talking about how, ill it is on these streets, and sweetie, that's not your world though. So it's not for you to really like have that strong of an opinion on. Like, so yeah, just go to school, get your degrees, and find yourself a nice dude to put a baby in you. Okay.
Actually putting it into play.
Do I need to show you a bunch of videos of cops attacking protesters, peaceful protesters?
Listen to this. This is the number.
You mean I'm informed and educated?
You're not though.
Yikes. Oh my goodness. When you got to sit there and say how educated you are while being, boisterous and dismissing, the statistics, because like that's the thing. You can still, yes, like I said, I'm of the mindset that statistics can be manipulated. But if you want to sit there and just go into them, by all means, you should be willing to have that conversation with your folks. But just sitting there screaming how you're educated, sweetheart, it's like. Like life is insane. I'm telling you, you don't know a percentage point. You know less of a percentage point of what you think you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's for the best to own that and respect those who came before you, i.e., the two people that came together and made you.
Yes, I am.
One-sided informed.
Yes. Mom, I was watching political stuff and you said to turn that off because you don't want to hear about it. That means that I am educated on it and you are not.
Political stuff. Oh man, I really wonder. She was watching Trevor Noah. she was watching TYT. like, yeah, I watch political stuff, so I know a thing or two about a thing or two. Like, no, sweetie, it doesn't really work like that. Sitting down and watching a 15-minute segment is one thing, and having lived experience as well as FBI statistics and maybe a few books under your belt would go a little bit further,
I'm sick of hearing it.
The fact that you can have that ignorance for the majority is bliss.
Okay, so-
Ignorance for the minority
So I'm
is
looking at statistics
destruction.
that are wrong.
Here's the thing, sweetheart, because one of the things I know this young lady is really balls deep in on is intersectionality, right? But okay, so if your intersectionality gives you greater numbers than the majority, then don't you become the majority? Because, I mean, if you got these gigantic corporations and all these, elected officials just bending the knee to your whims and your wills, doesn't that make you the majority? I'm just saying.
This is just pure wrong information out there.
Just give me the statistic.
In 2017, 457
white people were shot to death by the police in the United States. Okay. 223 were black. 76% of the population is white. 13%.
Yeah, but sweetheart, okay, I hate to cut her off, but the deal is that I know she's just about to start babbling off numbers. Deal is that one number is greater than the other. Sorry. If you want to sit here and say it's an exclusively black problem, quote unquote, you can't. That's why coming across, like, you know what I'm saying, like trying to make it a solely black problem is nonsense and bullshit. And I've never advocated for that for a single day on this channel.
Is percent of the population is white. 13% is black. If they were being killed at the exact same rate.
Disproportional is not all encompassing, darling. It's not, no matter what your percentage point, it's going to be 100%. So maybe we should do things that will help the 100%, i.e. ending the drug war and, you know, fixing family courts and the like. That would go so much further. You have absolutely no idea. Return the value to, you know, the family of which you come from. And that's one of the more interesting parts, is that these folks who are out there fighting for black lives because they're so oppressed. Oh my goodness. Like sweetheart, you come from the pinnacle. You come from a pinnacle position, and you can do fantastic things. You can do with your life whatever it is you so desire. Okay, but so can everyone else, including all of the statistics. What was that? I think there's about 700 people who were both black and white in 2017 that got killed by police. Yeah, we all 700 of them. We all got choices to make. All right.
By police officers, the rate of black people being killed would be 8.9, but it's not. It's 24%. The rate of white people being killed should be about where it is. So they're being killed at a higher rate. There's more white people, meaning that the amount of people killed by cops who are white would be higher. The reaction of the...
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, sweetheart. Disproportionate is not all encompassing. I've already said it. I've already gone over that point. Man, I blew my load way too early on that one. Speaking of, how old do you think she is?
Person. I'm not saying it's. I'm not saying it's. They're tired of being treated that way. I'm not saying it's right. Good. But if they started teaching them that this is the world that we live in, you don't want to be killed. Why do you think your friend's father taught him that? Because his black son doesn't end up dead like Tamir Rice.
Oh, golly, it's the self-righteousness off of this mini Karen is just it is just ridiculous. It really is. If Tamir Rice had parents that cared about him, like, hey, they probably would have had a talk, right? I mean, I'm not sure of their situation here, and I'm really not going to be looking further into it. I'm just saying is that, you know, like this, every situation is unique in and of itself. Okay. The disproportionate number is disproportionate, but these things happen to damn near everyone, particularly if you want to go higher, then I'd really like the numbers of it broken down at a socioeconomic level, because that right there would be, that would be fantastic, because that's really the problem. And we can start to go and by identifying the real problem, we can start to fix it. But as long as everyone is so up their own ass, sniffing their own farts when it comes to quote unquote more racism and more white supremacy, we can't get anywhere. We can't get anywhere. Honestly, ladies, I love you, but this is why you kind of we really need to remove you from these legitimate conversations so we can get things legitimately done. You're not helpful. You're just sitting here rolling off your emotions, and it's ridiculous.
Because he doesn't want him to grow up with a chip on his shoulder that he doesn't want his black son to end up dead. Exactly. That's not okay. Why do you think that's okay?
Why do you think your parents want you to end up dead? But the deal is, statistically, it's just insanely unlikely. And that's what's called reality, sweetheart. Like nobody wants their loved ones to end up dead. And so thusly, if, with my sons, it'd be just, hey, when it comes to, honestly, I don't even know how my sons would be able to react to these 2020 cops, because I just dropped that video about the cops being just scared for their own lives. So it's like, I don't even know how you'd be. I don't even know what the situation on the streets is anymore. But as someone who's always presented himself, because you always want to, and this has worked for me every time I've been stopped by police. I'm friendly. I'm making jokes, even if I'm in the wrong. Like, hey, you're not. It's okay. I'm more lighthearted than that, because the energy that you give off really does go a long way in how your interactions with police go, with anyone, because police are human. Your interactions. That's how your interactions go with damn near anyone. Is the energy that you're giving off. And I've seen way too often where people, they start, like, the cop will just be pulling them over for something light, but because they run their mouth and don't shut the fuck up, like, they end up, getting locked up and having, like, you could have just walked away with a ticket. Maybe not even if you made the cop laugh hard enough. I've done that. I've made jokes that have made a cop laugh hard enough that I've gotten out of tickets. So it's like, come on, and that's my lived experience. Like, when I see these people, particularly the LeBron James and the Ice Cubes and the Ice Teas. What's up with Ice? Sitting there crying about oppression and they hunting us and all this other stuff. The least likely of those to run across insanely pressing in detrimental police encounters. It's just like, dude, come on, cut it out. Who you work for? What are you doing? Because you're not a victim. You're not oppressed. And you know how I know you're not oppressed? Because I have way less money than you and I'm not oppressed. I've been able, there's literally nothing stopping me from going out. And if I want to be a pilot right now, they welcome me with open arms. If I wanted to be a CNA or some stupid shit like that, they'd welcome me with open arms. So to pretend as if, oh, there's all these barriers that are beyond the socioeconomic realm, and they exist in this racial tent, it's not disingenuous coming from her. It's just a pure display of ignorance and a lack of recognition of the world that came before her. That's what it is. So, with that being said, we're gonna bring this one to an end. It's like another 30 seconds left. Shut up. Let's play it.
Hey, because why is this something that you're okay with? Why is that a reality that you're okay with? I'm okay.
Because it's reality. I mean, I genuinely believe that, because she seems like she's such a nice girl. I would genuinely believe that her parents aren't like, these hate mongers. Like, like these. Her parents do not sound like hate mongers to me. They really don't. They sound like two parents that care about their kid and don't want their kid being all upset and emotional, when reality is what reality is. And she's the one that's really not into reality right now. Why does she remind me of Why does she remind me of the chick from Gremlins? Don't she, in this still, don't she look just like Phoebe Cates or something like that? Wasn't that her name?
With it. But you are. No, I'm not. Stand against it. So stand against it. If you're not okay with it, so stand against it. When I'll stand against it? When the black people in the ghetto stop carrying an illegal weapon. When the black people in the ghetto stop murdering each other. I'll start caring about cops when they stop killing black people.
Okay, so I could probably think that's when once again we got two chicks going back at it like that. Dad's just like, yo, I'm going. Dad chucked up the deuces, and Ma is frustrated, so she's just like, look, when they start caring about themselves, when them niggas start caring about themselves, I'll give a damn about them. Oh, tip of the tongue, but she knew she was being recorded. I'm joking. Deal is that, like, yo, like, well, what can you say? The young lady, Phoebe Cates over here, is that her name, Phoebe Cates? I'm not sure. But the young lady is just, you're both emotional, ladies. But, the daughter is just in the wrong because of basically the marination of all of this. Oh, well, black people are oppressed, and the systematic systems of injustice and reparations and all that other fun stuff, right? It's sweetie. This is not your fight. For real. Like, I'm sorry. I know you want to be passionate about something. You really want to get into it, but it just this one right here. not to go up against your parents against, at least in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. All the internet stuff. If you like this, also like this, like, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub, if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications and speak. Let me know what do you guys think in the comments. She's a sweetheart. She is a sweet young lady. I have absolutely no doubt about that. Okay, and she seems to have come from really good people. Like her mom and her dad, like y'all sitting here talking about this is racist when this sounds like a mom and a dad that have just lived life, experienced things, know that hey, character is what matters. It really does. But as long as we have all these race hustlers out here still trying to convince us that, oh yeah, well, the color of your skin just determines your value in life, it's bullshit. It is. But you may disagree. Plenty do. I can't help but notice my comments. So let me know what you guys think, okay? And until the next one.